Darth Vader is one of the most impressive villains we know of. We both love him and fear him, but unfortunately in a new comic preview, he proved that he overestimated his power in Kenobi. Even Vader's got his limitations, even if he might be one of the strongest Force-wielders. Here's what we know so far about how Darth Vader overestimated how powerful he is in the Marvel comic. First off, what should we expect from the new Darth Vader comic? A new preview for Marvel's Darth Vader demonstrates how the Dark Lord overestimates his own strength in the Star Wars universe. Vader's limits are further proven as he attempts and fails to replicate his most spectacular moment from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Despite being one of the galaxy's most powerful Force wielders, his hold can be broken. In the previous comics, the Dark Lord was charged with tracking down Crimson Dawn members in earlier issues by Greg Pak and Raffaele Ienco. The major crime organization had gone to war with the Empire, with agents implanted at every level of the Imperial structure, making a dramatic return between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. What's more, the Sith Lord was pursuing down a renegade Imperial governor who covertly supported the Dawn, aided by his late wife's decoy, Sabé. Darth Vader number 25's new teaser shows the Sith Lord following the governor on speeder motorcycles, aiming to destroy the governor before they flee the system. Second, Vader's limitations were revealed. Unfortunately, the governor and her people managed to escape, but Vader uses the Force to keep the cargo ship in place, similar to how he used the Force to halt the Path Resistance group in Kenobi. However, the shuttle's engines prove too powerful, and the shuttle escapes the Dark Lord. Kinda disappointing if you ask us. Despite altering tactics and destroying the shuttle's circuitry, Vader still loses his prize in this fresh preview, leading to the governor's mistaken optimism. When combined with Obi-Wan Kenobi's misdirect, which led to the Path's similar escape, it appears Darth Vader still has defects and limitations that can come in the way of winning. While seizing shuttles in midair, which is undeniably spectacular and demonstrates Vader's might, he's clearly not indestructible, as much as he'd like to believe he is. In any case, it'll be interesting to observe how Sabé interacts with Vader in light of her new purpose of redeeming the man who was formerly Anakin Skywalker. Given that Darth Vader will not be redeemed until he confronts his son Luke in Return of the Jedi, it's clear that Sabé's playing a risky game in this new Star Wars comic, one that will not end well. So here's what the writer had to say about issue 25. Few writers have influenced the galaxy far, far away as Charles Soule since Marvel resumed publishing Star Wars comics in 2015. This is Soule's 100th Star Wars comic, making it a pretty important moment, and here's what the writer had to say about the issue. The issue features 4 important stories from the canon. Soule shared that he had to set Vader 25 up from the beginning because he didn't want to confuse the readers. He shared that he was at ease knowing that it was a 25-issue project, so he had a lot of time to set up Vader's story in the comics. He wanted to explore Vader's character development from being exposed to everything to being a little accepting of the truth. He added that Vader goes from rejecting the reality around him to accepting that his wife won't be returned to him no matter how much he fights. Soule wanted to show how Vader reluctantly accepted that things are how they are, and there isn't much you can do about it. Finally, the death of Anakin Skywalker. Charles Soule added that he wanted to show how Vader came to replace Anakin Skywalker, which was a slow death, and that it required Vader to confront himself directly. It was a bit tricky for Soule to show this since Vader doesn't have any inner monologue in the series. This is why the writer had to find a way to show this transition through Vader's actions rather than his words, because as a villain, it was better for the readers to be a little removed from him. That explains why adding a monologue wouldn't make any sense. Let's be real, Vader's a pretty complex character. Even if you sympathize with him, you can't exactly forgive what he's done. He shared that the mask was a way for him to have some dialogue with himself and come to terms with the fact that Padme was gone and he wasn't going to get her back, and that he was no longer someone that Padme would love or recognize. He shared that in the issue, they found a way to use dialogue boxes to show how Vader comes to this transformation. The original plan had been to find a way to incorporate lines from the movies and earlier issues and have them echo in a way that didn't interfere with the actions that he was doing in issue 25. Soule discussed it with the rest of the team, and they decided that dialogue boxes were the best decision to go with. He added that he felt the issue came out pretty well and that it was a creative plan that had evolved a lot in the process of its creation. He even went on to say that the entire team had spent a lot of time on it, and the results would speak for themselves. According to reviews, Marvel's issue 25 is a fun series of stories. The story titled The Lesson shows Vader's important transformation. This story, illustrated by Giuseppe Camuncoli, is a pleasure because we seldom, if ever, witness Vader fight with the Emperor. A lot of dynamic energy is flung around aesthetically, cast in reds amongst Flaming City, inked by Daniele Orlandini and colors by Arif Prianto. The Emperor appears to be possessed by a demon, which fits his uber-evil personality. It's up to Sewell to remind us that Darth Vader still has a Jedi mind. Here's some other related news you might have missed out on. First off, Darth Vader's finally getting to beat his fear of sand. Star Wars fans are well aware of Anakin Skywalker's aversion to sand, and now a Star Wars comic allows Darth Vader to exact revenge on his actual enemy. The revamped Darth Vader comic, now in its third year, has seen the former Anakin Skywalker meet with mystery entities from his past. Vader was looking for Padme Amidala when he came upon Sabé, one of Padme's handmaidens. Sabé accidentally reconnected Vader with Kitster, his old buddy from the Phantom Menace, despite the fact that he never recognized Vader's actual identity beneath the armor. Second, we'll see Vader again in Ahsoka. Darth Vader will supposedly appear in Rosario Dawson's new Ahsoka series. The most famous person in Star Wars has had his fair share of screen time in Disney productions. The character originally featured in Star Wars Rebels, then in Rogue One, and most recently in Obi-Wan, in his most prominent role yet. It was previously speculated that Hayden Christensen would play Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka, probably as a Force ghost, but we might get to see him again. Vader's role in Ahsoka, which takes place after the events of the original trilogy, is unknown. According to this source, a new outfit was created for Ahsoka, which would be worn by Tom O'Connell and utilized for lightsaber bouts. With Vader no longer alive and Ahsoka taking place after the original trilogy, the new series may resemble Star Wars Rebels. There's also the possibility that he's only a part of Ahsoka's vision. Finally, Star Wars shared Vader's role in Rey's birth. One of the key plots in the Star Wars sequel trilogy is the mystery surrounding Rey's lineage. We've had our fair share of guesses since the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Star Wars The Last Jedi seemed to squash all of them, only for the rise of Skywalker to reveal a shocking answer. Rey is Emperor Palpatine's grandchild, and her father is a genetic thread cast of the Sith Lord. He left Palpatine's world taking the name Dathan, and lived the life of a family man until his father's agents came looking for Rey. But as revealed by Star Wars Shadow of the Sith, a new novel by Adam Christopher that serves as a precursor to the sequel trilogy, Darth Vader had an unintentional part in Rey's birth. Dathan was imprisoned on Exegol, the Sith planet where Palpatine had created him. How did he get away? Darth Vader and Ochia Bastoon's visit to the planet provided Dathan with the opportunity to flee. Thanks to Marvel Comics' Darth Vader series, we know Vader and Ochi visited Exegol at least once. This visit occurred at the perfect time for Dathan. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi deserved a better response? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.